stigma that's surrounding mental health counseling between youth and their fellow peers? Do you think it's a kind of a roadblock when you're trying to reach some youth? Do you feel that there's a kind of a stigma between peers about asking for mental health counseling or therapy?
And I do think there will always be that, but that's where having people right there in the schools, some of what we do with, we have a program called Camp Mariposa, which how can you put groups of kids together to support each other? So even if some kids will be mean about that, how do you take kids, like right now kids are in recovery who have this, not just their counseling, but they also have recreational opportunities with other kids who know what it's like. They're all in recovery, so they help support each other, because the kids back at school want them to get, back into the things that got them in trouble in the first place. So trying to find ways that, I don't know that there'll ever be a time when somebody who's different or ill in some way isn't viewed by some people in a negative fashion, but how do you connect them with other people who are understanding and want what's best for them? So I think that's a part of what we can do. But I think it's just it's a natural human condition to sort of be like, try to keep
wary.
And I think especially with, there have been a few really not so much highly publicized, but within a particular school community, if someone commits suicide and everybody knows about it, it makes people sensitive in two ways. One, like, for those people who are worried, oh my gosh, is somebody else, is that gonna keep on happening, or are people gonna keep on doing this? But it also makes people, especially if you can, while people are in that moment of pain and awareness, talk about, nothing can be done about what happened to this particular person, but let's all be smarter about what we might do, how we might all be looking for those signs that tell us there's something that might be going wrong for a person.
In the lobby. Michael,
it's kind of an unfortunate situation, but you can try and look forward.
You can build empathy in those moments. And then, of course, the Newtown shooting, it has a good and bad thing. On the one hand, people who wouldn't normally talk a lot about mental illness, or it's not too hard to tie the pieces together and see that there have been these series of unhappy, disenfranchised young white men who've gone on rampages. Something's going on. But I think it sort of, I don't like the part which sort of just blames it on, it's all about, if you're mentally ill, you're going to go off and do something crazy. At least it's creating more dialogue. People are talking about that, and people who are concerned, well, you can't swing that far in that direction. That's not what we're looking for here. And so that does at least trigger more conversations. And a parent, we did a lot through the media right after the shooting, just to help talk to parents about, you might be really emotional and feel this really strongly, but you gotta shut that television on. Or, take it in controlled doses when you can process it yourself before exposing your kids to that, because the media just went bonkers with it. And so it's those kinds of things where you can kind of help people stop and think how much, there are things that you do control.
Gotta be mindful in the situation.